I did not know that paranormal stories in the hood was a thing. But since it is, let me tell y'all about the time me, my mom, and my sister lived in a haunted house for over 10 years. This story is going to have multiple parts, so buckle up. This is just part one. And this is when we first moved into the house, right? We not even fully moved in. Now, a little backstory. We found this house for cheap, and it was a nice house. It was like 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, big ass. It was like a living room. Well, it was like actually like a living room, a dining room, and then kind of like an entertainment room. The house was huge, and we got it for a cheap price. And I remember like when I was telling my homeboy, one of my homeboys about, I was showing him the house, like, yeah, this is what we moving into. And he kind of looked at me and he was like, you know that house haunted, right? I'm just like, man, get the fuck out of here, whatever. And he like, no, for real. An old white man used to stay there. He died in the house, and people say it's haunted. And ever since then, nobody has ever stayed in that house past a couple months because it be too much shit happening. Now, mind you, the way my homeboys be playing, I'm kind of thinking he just fucking with me, right? I'm just like, whatever. All right, so now fast forward to we moving in. We all going, me, my mom, my sister, we all going back and forth moving our shit in, right? So now at this point, the only people in the house is me and two of my cousins, right? And I'm showing them like the house. So I'm not gonna go into details how it's set up because that's gonna take too long. But long story short, my room, the reason I picked it, and it's a fucked up reason, but my room didn't have any windows. And I loved it because when you would cut the lights off, it would be completely pitch dark. And I would sleep all day up in that bitch. So I'm showing my homeboys my room. But right down the hallway is my sister's room. And she actually had the biggest room in the house. And so I showed them my room, and then I go down to the end of the hall and I'm showing them my sister's room. And like I said, she had a big ass room. But on the wall, now this is important. On the wall, there was like a floor length mirror, but it didn't have a frame or anything, and it was bolted directly into the wall where you couldn't move it. Like if you touch it, you can't move it. It wouldn't move at all. It's just right there in the wall. It was like 4 bolts on each corner holding it into the wall, right? So I take them in there, I show them my sister room and shit. And then I go back into my room and they come into my room with me because I'm moving my shit in, right? I'm moving my clothes, books, knickknacks, all that good stuff. So while mind you, nobody's in the house but us. Me, my two cousins. While we're in my room and we just talking, I'm talking about all the shit we gonna be doing, yada, 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 we hear a loud ass crash come from my sister room. Now, we hood ninjas. So when we hear that, our first instinct is somebody in here with us. So we immediately dash into my sister room, ready for action. Nobody's there. And the way the house was set up, nobody could have been in there. And they couldn't have came in and left without us seeing them or hearing them. The way the house is set up, right? So we get into the room, nobody's there. And my sister hasn't moved into her room yet. So it's nothing in her room. Her room is completely empty. And we looking around like, what the fuck was that noise? And we look at the mirror and it's smashed. Like, so now we know what the sound was. At first, we didn't even know what the sound was. It was just the crash was so loud that it actually, like, we all like flinched before we ran to see what was going on. And the way the mirror was shattered, you would think somebody took a sledgehammer or something and just, slammed it into it. So now we in my sister's room and we just looking around like, what the fuck? Like, how did that happen? Because again, mind you, my sister, the mirror is bolted into the wall. You can't move it. You can't jiggle it. There was no type of give on it. You dig what I'm saying? So for it to just spontaneous shatter, there was no logical explanation. And we just kind of like, you know how you get that, oh shit, look, but then you try to laugh it off because we just like, and I'm like, oh, well, damn. And then, I make a joke like, well, damn. Motherfucker did say, the homie did say that the house haunted, haha, we laughing, but we kind of spooked. So now, like maybe an hour or so later, my sister shows up. And she's already been in the house, right? And me and my two cousins, we in my room. We still in my room, chopping it up and shit. She goes in her room, and my sister got a temper. So she goes in her room, gets to yelling, and immediately comes to my room. Like, what the fuck y'all do to my mirror? And I'm like, we didn't do nothing to your mirror. And she like, get the fuck out of here, man. I know y'all. Y'all was probably up in there play fighting and shit, and y'all done smashed the mirror, and y'all don't wanna take accountability or whatever. Like, what the fuck? And so we like, look, honestly, we was in my room. That's what I'm telling myself. I'm like, look, honestly, we was in my room and we just heard a loud crash. We came in there and the mirror was broke. My sister looked at us and she like, y'all can't come up with a better fucking line than that. I'm like, and my cousins is looking at her like, no, he's not lying. Cause I was known to joke and be sarcastic and shit. And so my cousins had to step in like, no, look, straight up, he not lying. We was in here. We don't know what happened. We just heard the shit. And like the more that we explaining it to her, the more she's kind of like, first she's kind of like, then she's kind of like, and she like, y'all for real? We like, yes. Well, look, so, and that was the first strange thing that happened. But a lot more shit happened. This video kind of long, so I'm gonna have to catch y'all on the next one. And I'm gonna let y'all know, because that shit right there that I'm telling you, as freaky as that sound, I'm getting chills. It get a lot worse. And this shit is real. I'm not lying. I'm not making this shit up. But if y'all give me enough likes and shit and get enough views on this shit, I'll hit y'all a part two. Comment part two if you want to hear the next part. As always, peace.